first session of the second day of the training program, that is on green information technology for a sustainable future. So the main thrust of this session is to bring forward a comprehensive view of our choices and decisions pertaining to information and communication technology and related peripherals in relation to our natural environment. So this is the main objective of this session. So before I start with the session, I would like to know from the participants who are interacting with me on the first time for the first time on the theme, that what do they feel green IT can be about, or what green IT is according to their understanding or according to their perception. So first of all, I would like to get a response from you, sir. What can be green information technology according to you? Okay. Combination of words, if you try to make out.
Green IT, information technology, green. Relate करना थोड़ा सा difficult है.
In any sense you relate. In any sense, whatever comes to your mind.
IT की जितने भी हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी है उससे एनवायरनमेंट सेव हो सके, एनवायरनमेंट पे कोई ज्यादा इफेक्ट ना पड़ सके. जो करंटली आईटी की जो भी चल रहा है स्कीम्स है उसमें हम बदल सकेंगे, उस पे एनवायरनमेंट पे ज्यादा असर ना पड़े, वो ठीक.
डेफिनेटली आपने दोनों चीजें इन नटशेल कवर कर दी. बहुत अच्छा, थैंक यू, थैंक्स फॉर योर पार्टिसिपेशन. आई वुड लाइक टू गो टू गवर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक जालना, महाराष्ट्र. So what according to you is green IT or could be green IT?
Please repeat, sir.
We are getting your voice, sir.
Yes, sir, your voice. We are waiting.
What can be green IT? What is your understanding of green IT? What can green IT be about?
Green IT?
Hanji. What do you feel it is green IT? What is green IT? Green information technology.
Green IT we don't know, sir. We want to listen that lecture.
Okay. Thank you. We come to Gandhi Engineering College. What is your understanding of green IT, green information technology? Gandhi Engineering College, Odisha. What do you think green IT can be about? Okay, MMU Ambala. What is your? I feel you have been connected for my programs earlier also, so you must be knowing it.
Yes, sir.
What green IT can be about?
E-waste management and acquainting to the knowledge to the latest technology.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So we have got from two of the participants, one we have got the point of view of e-waste, and another we have a conceptual understanding. Since I kept this session to be a conceptual one only, so that we can incorporate these into our aspects. So I have detailed knowledge also with me, but we are going to into conceptual understanding and observation based session on our day-to-day activities, how we can incorporate these practices into our day-to-day activity, and it becomes a habit and it doesn't intervene in the natural environment. So when we have got a wonderful response from both the participants, but I would like to put forth the view put forth by the participant at this center, that while describing green IT, he has taken two consideration. One is the using IT to solve the negativities of other activities, business processes, systems on the environment. It's using IT to reduce the negativity of other routine activities on the environment. And second perspective he has truly highlighted is reducing the impact of IT itself on the environment. Negative impact of IT itself on the environment. We have to, how we can, what are the practices, techniques, tools we can do that also constitute green IT. So green IT has a two sides of the same coin. So it has positives also, negatives also. So Positives of IT oriented towards natural environment is also green IT. Reducing the negative impacts of the IT on the environment is also green IT. So for this theme, we will be following this flow. So first is introduction to the theme. I had just tried to highlight what green IT is. Then we will discuss different terminologies associated to the green IT, information technology, so that if any person who wishes to undertake research in the area of green information technology can or allied aspects can know basic what are the different fields or terms associated with this domain. Then green IT defined. We will try to define the green IT as per the practitioner's point of view. Then green IT perspectives. What are the different perspectives of green IT? Then we would try to link green IT potential and its linkage to the information technology product life cycle. Then we will try to view each phase of IT product life cycle from a green phase. But in the same way, we will be discussing side by side the ecopreneurial opportunities in each of the phase also. So it will start with the first example that I normally take in context of when I start with this session, that is your ironing of press your clothes. So with audio will be there. So first I would like to start with an example. Each one of us is using an iron to iron our clothes in the morning. So how much time in a day we use it? First of all, my question is, what is the power rating of an average power rating of an electric iron? Sir, can you make out what is the power rating?
1000 watt.
Okay, 1000 watt. Okay, let us take example from here only. We do not go to noodle center so that we say one time. So there are different ironing or electronic presses, electric presses that may have wattage from your 0.5 kilowatt to several thousands kilowatts. It may depend upon whether it is a personal use or commercial use. But for an example purpose, we have we consider it to be an average of 1 kilowatt. That's it. So 1000 watts or 1 kilowatt, and rating is in hours. 1 kilowatt hour. Okay. So can you make out how much time in a day we use it? Normally?
Normally, half an hour.
Half an hour maximum. Okay. Okay. Government Polytechnic Jalna. How much time in a day we use an electric press to iron our clothes? How much time in a day normally we use an electronic press or electric press to iron our clothes?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. How much time, sir?
15 to 20 minutes per day.
Sorry, we are not getting your voice. How many? Is it 10 minutes? Or
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Thank you. MMU Ambala? MMU Ambala? Okay, they have to again and again stand up. So we will take from
Yes, sir, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. We are close to 15, 20 and half an hour. Sometimes so from some participants in my previous session, I get a response of 1 hour also because they do it for family. But let us consider half an hour for an exemplary purpose. So half an hour means, and how much days in a year we use it? So if we take out to be half an hour, so it is 30 upon 60, 1 by 2. That's it. So it will be how much kilowatt in a day we consume it? 0.5 kilowatt. That's it. So how much days in a year we use it on an average?
5 days per week.
5 days per week. So we take 52 weeks. So it is 5 to the 10 and 25, around 250 days you say. Let us consider in winters we do not use it. We say shirt pehn. Let us consider 200 days on an average. So it means electronic. I am considering the ironing press example first. So 0.5 kilowatt multiplied by 200. How much it is, sir? How much? It comes out to be 100. 100 kilowatt in a year. In a year. So from here we can have two cases. Case A, okay. So we can have that consumption of electricity or bill that is because of hiring of electric press. So per unit rate of electricity may vary from state to state. So on an average, what is it? In Punjab, it is I feel so 7 rupees per unit. Per unit is kilowatt hour, no kilowatt. So if we make out to be 100 kilowatt multiplied by 7 is rupees 700 in a year. So we are just doing basic financial calculation. Now let us consider another example of your desktop computer. Desktop computer. So what is the power rating of a desktop computer along with basic accessories? Power consumption. How much? Approximately. Okay, GP Jalna. What is the power consumption of an desktop personal computer? What is the rate?
Less than 100 watts.
Less than
100 watts.
100
watts.
watts. Okay. Okay. If we go by the different ratings for electronic appliances available on Energy Star website, you can go. Each appliance, maybe your AC or your personal computer, who applies for the 2-star, 3-star, different kind of energy star rating. So there they have different categories. For being into 3-star rated, 5-star rated, you have different categories A, B, C. Or if you have to be in A category, it means your power consumption will be between say 0 to 100 watts. Say, for an example, another is 100 to 250 watts, 250 to 500. But normally it is above 250 and below 500. So you're based on your power efficiency of your desktop PC, they are rated. Any electronic appliance, maybe your air conditioner, maybe your refrigerator, maybe your we talk it off to be your computer. So as per Energy Star guidelines, it is approximately close to 250 watts. But the kind of PC we are using in a developing country, they are assembled one. So they are not that much efficient. They have those star ratings and all. So when you have those kind of PCs, their power consumption varies from 500 watt to 650 watt or 700 watt, along with a simple printer. So let us consider on an average to be power rating of our desktop PC to be such inefficient PC to be that we are using in our villages most of the time, and still for the next 5 years I see the same phase. Each one will not be able to buy a HP or Dell one branded one. We're spending so much of money, so we go for buying this only. So it's 5 kilowatt hour. Let us consider. So how much time in a day we use our desktop computer?
8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10 hours on an average. It is there. You agree? From GP Jalna, how much time in a day we use it? On an average? GP Jalna, Maharashtra.
Not 500 kilowatt.
How much time in a day?
Half kilowatt.
How much?
It should be half kilowatt, not 500 kilowatt.
Sorry, it will be 500 watts.
500 watts.
Thank you very much. It is 0.5 kilowatt. Thank you for asking me. Thank you. Okay, so it is 5 kilowatt, 0.5 kilowatt. It is 500 watts. So how much time in a day you use it?
5 hours per day.
Half an hour?
5 hours per day.
5 hours per day.
1,000 hours in a year.
5 hours per day. So let us consider on an thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, considering your home use and your official use, let us consider to be 10 hours because when you work in the office and house also. So, 0.5 kilowatt multiplied by 10. And how much days? Computer?
200 days.
Very rare. So, okay, 200 days. Okay, let us consider sir's point, 200 only. Normally, I take 300 days because we do not give a holiday to our computer. If we go on vacations also, we take it along with us. Okay, let us consider 200 for a comparison purpose only. So, 0.5 kilowatt multiplied by 10 multiplied by 200. So, how much it is? 1000. 1000 kilowatt. That's it. And per unit rate of electricity on an average, let us consider it to be saved of rupees 7. So it will be your 1000 into 7. It means your rupees 7000 will be coming to your electricity bill on account of your desktop PC in a year. So I'm not talking of the environment or sustainability or that perspective over here. I'm just considering an example. Where there is just your routine use of your desktop computer and electronic ironing or electric ironing.
How many centers are connected?
So, at present 4.
Oh, can you connect someone?
Sure.
Just
MMU Mbala, our director sir is honorable director is here with a team. They wish to have an interaction with you. MMU Mbala, yes.
You asked how is the reception?
How are you getting our audio and video clear? MMU Mbala. Sorry, I disturbed you. You have to come forward. Sure.
Hello.
Hani sir.
Now we are getting, sir.
Okay.
So can you repeat the question?
No. It was just there was a team at our end, and they wish to have a clarity of audio video. How is it? How the connection is? So it was just. Thank you. Okay, we resume back to our session. So it is rupees 7 per unit. It means 7,000 rupees in a year on account of use of your personal computer, desktop computer. So when we use electric press in our homes, I used to do ironing. So my parents used to say, or my grandfather would say, "Why are you wasting electricity? You are leaving the press on. Who will pay the bill?" And you will have those kind of excuses. But when we use desktop PC, have we questioned ourselves, or have we questioned our siblings or colleagues that we are leaving the desktop on without it being in use, and it is consuming energy and it will count towards electricity expenses also? No, because we do not go into the micro level analysis of the things, and here the problem starts. And in the same way, the opportunity for ecopreneurship starts. I will just broaden this example to highlight. Okay, so this was the perspective from a financial perspective. Now I enter into another perspective, B perspective, that is environmental consideration. So, what is the major source of electricity production in India? As if now there is going to be a shift, exponential shift, because we wish to have funding from World Bank, and World Bank has its own regulations and policies that you should shift to renewable energy. That's why there is a push in different countries on different states on solar energy by the central and state level. But as if now, 65 to 70% of our electricity is being produced from thermal sources. Do you agree? So if I multiply by 100 kilowatt multiply by 0.7, it will give that component of my electricity that is being produced from thermal sources. If I am using 100 kilowatt for an ironing of press in a year, it means if I multiply it by 0.7, it means that units kilowatts of electricity are coming from thermal source. And for producing each unit of electricity, when you burn a coal, certain centimeter cube cc of CO2 is added to the environment. But that factor I am unable to get, because from a researcher perspective, if I advance in this area, you can get, but maybe you will not get the actual efficiency of the coal, because the reported one is a separate one and actual one is the different one. So in thermal power plant, you can get it. But what I say, if you multiply by that factor, it means you will get that component of electricity that you are using in your home for whole overall consumption or for any particular appliance, and you are adding CO2 to the environment. In the same way, if you multiply it for your desktop PC also, you will get that component of your CO2 that you are adding to the environment. But if I would have reversed the thing, if I would have made you how much CO2 you are adding to the environment, you may not have appreciated. Because if one person is social, that doesn't mean every person would like to be social. Each person may have his different motives. One time we are saying teachers are paid well. Sometimes we see teachers are paid under. So I can't put a force that if I do not earn money, I am getting good salary. Others should not earn. They can earn, but we have to highlight this in such a way that for a businessman, profit motive is more than it has to be a sustainable development, has to be based on three pillars: people, planet, profit. People say society, whatever activity you are doing, क्या इसका कोई negative impact on society में? Planet, whatever my business or routine activities, उसका environment पे क्या negative impact हो रहा है? At the same time, balancing with the profit. Your profit should also be there. Otherwise, you will be out. So this was a basic analysis. Now let us consider an example. It may be varying from institution to institution. One of my friends is running a Paryavarn Welfare Society in Thapa University, Patiala. So what we did, he celebrates World Earth Day in the evening 7 to 7:10. Once we took a permission from the university and we made an electricity cut for 10 minutes in the university. Then what we realized, it was a journal calculation, seeing the consumption. What we realized, they saved during those 10 minutes 8,000 rupees of electricity. It means 1 hour, 8,000 multiplied by 6 chunks, 8 into 6, 48,000, and 24 hours, is approximately close to 12 lakhs, 124 hours round. 24 after 12 lakhs multiplied by 30 days, 3 crores, 60 lakhs for a university जिसकी की ऑन कैंपस स्ट्रेंथ होगी 3,500 से 4,500, मैक्सिमम 5,000 का, उनका 3 करोड़ में मंथली बिल होगा. But at the same time, if you consider a university like lovely professional university, where 25,000 is the student strength, 5,000 is the faculty strength, 10,000 is the normal staff strength. More than 40,000 people are there in that university, more than the population of one district on a single day in the campus. What would be the electricity bill consumption over there? Just MMU Mbala. MMU is also having a good chain of colleges, and I would like to conduct a study also with them, in collaboration with them, if they are interested, because I proposed this thing to my lovely also, but it couldn't be taken forward because of certain reasons over there. So what happens if you do, and it all can be modified based on your habits, practices also, and habits also plays a part to it. Not only attitude. Ultimately, adoption of any technology fails or succeeds. It depends. It succeeds or fails. It depends on most of it depends on the attitude. But there are several other factors. वो e-governance adoption का अगर एक session हम कर पाए, it's what we can do. So I would like to take it. Otherwise, for just an understanding, so there is a huge potential in managing your energy flow in your unit or electricity. Okay, another opportunity. Let us consider how many mobiles we have. At present, I have at least 2 in my pocket. Two are my old mobiles. More than 2 होंगे. दोस्त तो चोर ले गया घर से. तो 6 मोबाइल्स एट अ टाइम होंगे जो आपने 2006 से यूज करना शुरू होगा. I am admit it. But how many mobiles are we having, sir? How many mobiles you have? One. Okay. In your family? Total 5. That's it. Yeah, it may vary from 5 in a family, 1 per head, or it may go up to 2 to 3 mobiles per head. So if we consider 130 crore population, how much people? Yesterday, Saurabh was sharing that now a person who knows how to operate Android is literate. It means even rickshaw wala is having a mobile, even your Golgappa wala is having a mobile, and thanks to you, they are having internet also. But what I wish to say, 130 crore population, how much? What composition of population would be having mobiles? 70% approximate. 70 crore. 70 crores means not only 70 crores. 70 crores multiplied by at least 2 on an average. But if you have to mitigate that, once we are putting into the society, but उसको खत्म करना है तो कैसे करेंगे? Do you know? We have not thought of it, because when we adopt the technology, we do not think it in a holistic phase. And no doubt, government regulation will be there slowly, and it will be tightening up. For example, Samsung has come up in its stores that you have to place e-bins over there, collection bins over there. Now they are doing it, and there is authorized. It has to be recycled according to the according in a center that is authorized. E-waste collection management centers are also authorized. ठीक, बट उसमें एक चीज बात है कि जब तक वो चीज पूरी फॉर्मल स्ट्रक्चर में आएगी, उस टाइम तक क्या नुकसान हो चुका है? नुकसान क्या है? I relate it with the cancer. Green revolution, it was in 60s or 70s, but it was required at that moment because people were suffering from the hunger and starvation at that point. And whenever there is a problem, there are 2 parts of the solution. One is tactical one is long term. That was a tactical solution that scientists and agriculturists introduced the use of pesticides. But that doesn't mean it has to be followed for 60 years down the line or 50 years down the line. What our grandfathers and our uncles have done or fathers have done, they have used it repetitively, and उससे वो उनको लगता है कि पैदावार बढ़ गया. But what is the impact of it? In 2007, when I was in 2010, when I was interacting with certain researchers working with PBI, they were saying out of 100, if 100 people used to come for cross verification whether they have cancer or not, so out of them, only 15 to 20 people used to detect it positive. Nearly less than that, 15, 10 to 15. Now it is out of 100, 40 to 45 people are being detected positive. तो मैंने जो पहले एग्जांपल्स लेता था कैंसर के केस में, अब रिसेंट और बढ़ रही है जिन पर्सन से मैं इंटरेक्ट किया हूँ, तो उसमें से इट विल नॉट सी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के डोमेन में एक्टिव पर्सन है. प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी सर के साथ मिलकर उन्होंने काम भी किया हुआ है, मिले हैं कुछ वर्कशॉप्स में, बट उनको भी कैंसर है. अगर होना है तो उनको भी होना है. जो लखबीर सर आपके सामने आएंगे फ्राइडे, उनको भी होना है. और अगर होना है तो एक नॉर्मल इंसान को. बट वेयर विल बी द डिफरेंस? द डिफरेंस विल बी इन द who can get the treatment and who can't get the treatment. Okay? Because when I was living in a rented accommodation in sector 67, so one of my friends with whom I was sharing the accommodation, उनके वाइफ थे, एक रूम में वो थे, एक साइड पे उन्होंने मेरे को दिया था. उन्होंने कहा कि एक अंकल है गांव से आए हैं, तो आप इनको इनका आई विल नॉट नेम द हॉस्पिटल, वहाँ पे ट्रीटमेंट चल रहा है, तो आप इनको आपके रूम में रुकेंगे कि आपका वॉशरूम अटैच है, आप लॉबी में हो. तो on one fine day he said कि मैं I am moving to village, तो आप एक इनकी मेडिसिन चेंज होनी है, you go to the hospital and get the medicine changed. 1 milligram, 10 milligram, 10 salts. I visited that hospital. Luckily or luckily, I found their sister of us working over there. One of my friends who is based in Australia, his his sister was working as a pharmacist over there. I requested Raman कि डॉक्टर को कह दो कि हमें डाइट अच्छा सा कर दे, मेरे ब्रदर के नोन है. She went and she did some talk and नई प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लेके आए. उन्होंने मेरे को एक कहा कि वहां पे मोहाली के उस रीजन में जाओ, वहां पे मेडिकल शॉप है, यू गो ओवर देयर एंड गेट इट रिप्लेस्ड. वी विजिटेड ओवर देयर. जो उन्होंने लिखा था वो मेडिकल, आई डिडंट गेट दैट मेडिकल शॉप. आई एंटर्ड इनटू सम अदर शॉप. So I asked, this has to be replaced. So he replaced, took back that 10 milligram salt for 2500 rupees. And new that he gave was MRP of 27,000. After discount, he put pay me 20,000. So I immediately called sister of us. I called कि रमन डॉक्टर पहले मिसलीड कर रहा था कि अब कर रहा है. उनको ये तो नहीं आता चंडीगढ़ में बहुत बड़े बिजनेसमैन है तकरे. तो उसने कहा कि भैया नहीं, मैं पूछती हूँ. जाके पूछा तो कहते ब्रदर वो पहले वाला सॉल्ट था, इट वाज अ जेनेरिक वन एंड उससे उनका सॉल्व नहीं हुआ, इट इज पेटेंटेड वन. अब उसने पूछा आप उस मेडिकॉस पे नहीं है, यू आर नॉट देयर ऑन दैट मेडिकल शॉप. आई रेड द नेम एंड आई वाज नॉट देयर, बट आई डिडंट से कि नो आई एम नॉट देयर. आई कट द फोन and I negotiated using my management skills. I negotiated with that shop. My sister is working in pharmacy department over there, and she is saying you are overcharging. That doesn't cost this much. So what he did again, he took a calculator. After certain calculation, he said pay me 15,000. So auntie was little bit at a comfort zone. 27,000 MRP, 20,000 and 15,000. But I was not happy internally because it was a 1 week medicine. A normal person has to do 20,000 multiplied by 4 weeks. It means 1 lakh for a 10 milligram salt each week. And when I visited uncle in the evening, we sat on the stairs and I asked him, he is very well built because farmers are well built. What is the room rent over there was 5,000 per day. Apart from your medicinal expenses, 5,000 per day. If he has to be treated for 30 days, it means 5 into 3, close to 1,50,000 plus medicinal. So it will be costing a month in case of emergency condition. It will be costing about more than 2 lakhs a month. So what happens over there? I asked him, how come you suffered from this bad thing? You are very well built. तो ही said कि मैं जब खेती करता था तो मैं जो ढक्कन होते थे दवाइयों के वो मुंह से खोल देता था. इंसेक्टिसाइड. Chemical poison will be a poison. He will not see what is your caste, color and creed. But what I propose over here, it may be a truth after 10 years or maybe after 5 years. But I say if we do not mitigate these electronic waste or ICT waste in a responsible manner, so next cause of the cancer is going to be this. First wave was that, second wave is going to be this. Because why? Because when you dump it in a routine activity, it goes to a certain land site and it rains. Through rains, all the chemicals penetrates into the earth, and Chandigarh or good cities like maybe a metro cities may be having a recycling plants where the water that is being pumped back into your homes are treated by. But will our village or a normal area in Jalandhar district would have that kind of facility? Maybe for next 10 years, no. But the taxes we pay equally. So there is I do not say government is doing its role, but we as citizens are lacking in our roles. Maybe as entrepreneurs, there is an opportunity, entrepreneurial opportunity in that. Maybe in raising the concerns to the concerned authorities. बिकॉज हम शॉर्ट टर्म गेम्स में हैं कि मैं टीचर हूँ, मेरे वाइफ वहां पे है, उनकी ट्रांसफर हो जाए, मैं जुगाड़ लगा लूँ, पैसा दे दूँ, एडजस्ट हो जाए. हम उसी चीजों में उलझे हुए. बट वी आर नॉट लुकिंग अबाउट दीज प्रॉब्लम्स. बट आई एम श्योर अगर ये सिचुएशन कंटिन्यू रही तो अगले नेक्स्ट कमिंग ईयर्स में हर फैमिली में एक कैंसर पेशेंट होगा एंड उसका जो ट्रीटमेंट है आप सबको मिलकर करना होगा. जिसके पास बिजनेस है वो तो करवा लेगा, जिसके पास सैलरी एम्प्लॉयड है मेरे 50,000 सैलरी है और मेरे को करवाना है, तो how would I go about it? So because of, I am not worried because of society alone, because of my family members being a part of that society. So we have to go towards that. That's it. Okay, then introduction to the theme. With this, we have covered the introduction, but just for your orientation, I'm sharing what I have reviewed from the literature. Giving the penetration of ICT peripherals in our homes and the organization at an incredible pace, its negative impact on the environment can't be avoided. So there are two problems related to IT. One is high energy consumption of the IT and related peripherals. If we consider the total life cycle of the product, starting from the manufacturing of a computer to the disposal of the computer. Second is the problem of e-waste arising out of when IT devices are discarded, as we have discussed just. So having said all these, there is a positive side to IT also. So जो हमने हमने शुरू किया था कि आईटी को हमने यूज करके अदर एक्टिविटीज का इम्पैक्ट एनवायरनमेंट पे कम करना, सेकंड इज आईटी का इम्पैक्ट एनवायरनमेंट पे उसको कम करना. ओके, नाउ वी कम टू द पॉजिटिव साइड. नेगेटिव बहुत हो गया, और नाउ वी कम टू द पॉजिटिव साइड. कैन यू प्रपोज व्हाट कैन द पॉजिटिव साइड्स एंड व्हाट पॉजिटिव सॉल्यूशन यू सी इन द सोसाइटी एंड व्हाट यू कैन डू फ्रॉम योर टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूशंस पर्सपेक्टिव? Using IT. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Using IT can we reduce the routine activities, our routine activities impact on the environment? Can you exemplify? Any example? You know?
We have this concept of e-waste management.
Okay. Okay.
I think when it comes to institutions, the little effort which we can do is we don't use a lot of, I mean, where we are not like in classrooms and all, closing down the lights and all.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Saving the energy.
Okay.
That is one little step which every institution can do. Because mostly we have observed that students, they leave the classrooms like that, or even the faculty doesn't bother much because you know the management is paying for it, so it's not going from your pocket. That is the little effort that you can put, and maybe creating an awareness. Being an institution, a learning institution, you can have a more awareness about e-waste management, and even the problems that we might face in the coming future.
That's it. Sure. Thank you. GP Jalna, Government Polytechnic Jalna, Maharashtra. Can you exemplify? To manage routine activities, negative impact on the environment. Direct.
So the voice quality is not good to listen.
Okay. Can you exemplify how IT can be used to reduce the environmental impact of routine activities on the impact of our routine activities on the environment?
Yes, sir. We can reduce this required electricity and improve the green IT.
Sure. Okay.
We can save the energy so that automatically we are towards the green IT.
Sure. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Sir suggested that we should have a renewable energy centers or plants. That is there. That is one of the solutions in the source perspective. Now we consider routine examples. For example, when I was working with Hindustan Computer Limited HCL in frontline division, so when I was doing marketing for their products, so I visited Spice Telecom was there at that time. So when I visited Spice Telecom, what I found over there, one of my professors from my college from where I got the education, he was working over there. So I said, sir, what are you doing? What is your job profile? So he shared, Amar, I am monitoring sitting from here the different sites. For example, in a mobile communication, चाहे जितना मर्जी storms हो, thunderstorm हो, rain ho, but our mobile communication didn't break. Why? Because there is a shifting of overlapping of cells. Electronics people can make it out. So what happens if since my friend worked in Jati Telecom, so I stayed with them, so I know. So what happens कि एक साइड में जब प्लांट्स के कार्ड्स जलते हैं ड्यू टू इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ओवरशूट के कारण, इम्बैलेंस के कारण, तो वो क्या करते हैं, शाम तक उनके सॉफ्टवेयर में वो अप होता रहता है कि इस साइड का कार्ड उड़ गया है, 1 2 3 4 5 6. बाय द इवनिंग दे विल हैव एनालिसिस कि जहां पे उनका स्टेशन है वहां से ईस्ट साइड में 3 सेंटर्स खराब है, वेस्ट साइड में 2, नॉर्थ में इतने, साउथ में इतने. तो फिर वो टीम्स बना के उनको निकालते हैं. They can hire a taxi, they have a people, they hire a taxi, go over there, repair the sites, maybe night में गुरुद्वारा रुके, ढाबा रुके, होटल रुके, maybe they come back to their base. It is like an army. They do a job. My friend used to do, and he used to come sometimes 1:30 in the night, 3 o'clock in the night. So how do they manage? So what happens over there is, if a person has to, one site is faulty, they got a information that that site is faulty, immediately my institution say go and repair that site. That is happening in our electricity repair and maintenance presently. You go over there, you got another call, go to western side, that site is faulty. Then we go to the western side, then another call, then go again to eastern side, there's a faulty. The whole person revolves into that haphazard movement only, and it is a waste of petrol also. And using, when you consume a petrol or diesel, it generates more emissions than a normal one. So what they did, they used the cameras and they used to monitor the sites sitting over from there. They have a software system, management information system, from where they get which are the sites, they make teams, they send those teams over there. और अगर यही एक पुराना अगर स्ट्रक्चर होता तो आपके पास एक डीजल वाली जीप होती. What people used to do, corruption, how? डीजल वाली जीप डाल के डीजल जीप उस रूट पे जाएगी, डीजल डलवाएगी, one corruption in over there, another is there, जो pollution. So both way we were polluting, but now the things are changing. Another what the developed countries are doing, and now developing countries are also doing, traffic analysis on the roads. For example, if you have come to Mohali to Chandigarh, so there is a 14-kilometer distance you have to cover. So if there is a traffic jam on one route, it means there are parallel 13 lanes. So it will suggest to you on which lane traffic is more and which path you should follow. Recently I was visiting with one of my students from NIT. He came, तो उसने Google के बैठा यही कर रहा था कि सर इस रोड पे ज्यादा ट्रैफिक है, यहाँ से हमें 1 घंटा लगेगा, यहाँ से निकलते आधा घंटा लगेगा, with time also. And PEC, Punjab Engineering PEC University of Technology, I attended one of the conferences over there, and their head of computer science or some professor over there, she is doing it with students only. Web crawling techniques she learned during his thesis and exposure abroad. Now she is doing the projects for the local traffic management for the UT with her students. There is another opportunity. You see, you learn, you go to different advanced training institutions or advanced training, maybe abroad, maybe in India, learn, work with those people in PEC, then come back, then implement those things with your students. That's it. That is another opportunity. You can have a startup also based on it. You can have a student projects that solves the purpose problems like. For example, I am using electric water heater, solar water heater. NITT Chandigarh has installed in house. So when I bought a recently new house in Jalandhar, तो मेरे घर में डिसीजन चल रहा है कि क्या करें, गीजर लें कैसे लें. तो मैं उनको वेट करवा रहा हूँ कि अब रुकते हैं. क्यों? यहाँ पे जो सोलर वाटर हीटर है, the advantage and blessing is that you will get a heated water in each tap, maybe in a kitchen, maybe in any of the washrooms. But if you install in a home, it will give you a hot water in your single washroom. For one washroom you will have one geyser, for another washroom you will have another geyser, and for a kitchen you have another geyser. And I may not be technically correct, but the kind of the heat that is absorbed, 2 days sun is not there in Chandigarh, but in the morning I got a warm water, and that it is so hot that a normal geyser water when I use in my home, that doesn't have that much of heat content, so it remains warm for more time. So it is there. So what happens is there. So these opportunities are there, but we do not deploy. First, we make dark rooms, classrooms, and then some interior designer suggests stuff. Now it is so dark. Now you install lamps over there. So for certain classes, for dark experiments, for seminar conferences room, you can have this kind of rooms. But where it is to be a normal teaching, it may be a communication skills class. It may be your normal, say, a tutorial class. Why it has to be in a dark room and lit up by your lights? And carbon monoxide is there because greenhouse gas emission, greenhouse effect. When I travel in AC buses, another opportunity. When I travel in AC buses, I traveled from Manali, from here, 12 hours journey. What I found when I sit in the bus, Jalandhar se when I used to come 3 hours, I used to feel suffocating, and people used to vomit also sometimes. So what I realized that these buses are being on the road, and when they are on the bus stand, they do not do cross ventilation. They do not open the vents, and it is a sun rays. Then greenhouse gas effect is in that bus also. So when we sit inside, it is a lack of oxygen. Carbon monoxide is there, and it doesn't allow our respiratory system to function good. So what happens? So vomit. But we feel sometimes we feel sleepy, and we feel we are getting rest. That is not rest. I feel so. That is you are getting dizziness. It is you are behosh ho rahe ho, unconscious. What happened on the way when bus stopped at a point? I opened the vents, and when some persons came back after they have to load the bus, they said, "Who has? We have paid AC for air condition. Who has opened the vent? Who has opened the vent?" So I said, "I don't know. Maybe conductor has opened it." So that was a tactical solution. But what is the positive solutions to it? Entrepreneurial opportunities there. There are personal air purifier solutions also, but that is also not a good one. Because वही है ना आपने बंद कमरा बना दिया, you made a dark room and then you are saying how to purify the air. Simple, you have to open the windows, you have to open the door in the morning. Sure.
Sir, I think investing in renewable energy is the best solution. Like we in our institution, I don't know whether it's right to say that, but in our university, even for cooking the food for mess, like for students, we use plants, solar plants.
Plants.
We are having we've been known as the solar village
model.
also.
Okay.
Our institution is called as the solar village also. So we are using that solar energy, and similar procedures can be taken up by other institutions also. So that, like, if you want to cook food for the mess, you're saving such a long, it takes a lot of
gas also and LPG also. That's it.
And then for other things also, heating. Like in your hostels and all, geysers and all, you don't need not to have it. You have a centralized system where you can have heated water from solar panels. So
that's it. Some solutions are there. There is another aspect, simple design solution, design configuration. When we design in a institution or a house in our here these places, what happens? We design east facing, west facing, north facing, and south facing. But what is the beauty of Chandigarh? If you observe it, it is north-east facing, east, west, north, south. It is north-east facing. You will get you will not realize when you are in the city, but if you go upper, it is the sun rotates through south in our country. It goes from east. Southward is taking, it goes, we say the direction towards which it sets west, because sun never rises, never sets. It is there. But we teach our children like that. But the direction in which we see the sun coming up is the east. The direction in which we see the sun going is west. It is an indicative only. So what happens? They design the whole Chandigarh, they have planned in such a way that when the sun will move, so maximum time of the day you will be getting the light. But what happens? Riyadh Bahara is designing in a hospital. They have followed that concept, I feel so, in that hospital building. That if I'm not wrong. But what happens normally? जो एक चलता आया builders ने बनाया, east facing, west facing, north facing, south facing, वो सदियों से चलता आ रहा है और उसमें कितना investment हम कर चुके हैं. But while designing our institutions, while expanding our infrastructure, we can do it. ऐसा भी क्यों है कि अगर एक बिल्डिंग गलत बन गई है तो उसके ऊपर हमने बिल्डिंग जो बनानी है वो ऐसा ही हो? Why can't we given a shape, architectural good design, outer view, and we can convert the upper buildings on using beams and all on northeast facing or southwest facing, depending upon where you get the maximum lights and you require the maximum lights. Because our civil engineers, the same thing, we do not wish to go out of the box. We do not explore far. That's it. Okay, roughly about 3% of the global electricity uses, Ruth 2009, and according to Ruth 2009, and about 2% of the total worldwide greenhouse gas emissions, according to Shah et al. And Zhang and Liu conducted a study in 2009 and 10, is accounted to the information and communication technology infrastructure. So there is a need of the hour to call for green information technology and green information systems, as with the exponential increase in the adoption of ICT in developing countries, its impact on the environment over the next 10-15 years will increase substantially. If we talk of China or India, so it is going to be expand exponentially. Also, the biosphere's carrying capacity faces the threat of being overburdened by the growing risk of climate change, the continued depletion of the natural resources, and the rapid generation of non-biodegradable waste. So यहाँ पे simple observation है. The people there was I was listening to the radio and radio people were saying इस बार ठंड पड़ी नहीं. But if you analyze, ठंड पड़ी नहीं, ठंड पड़ी है, but उसका टाइमिंग एंड साइकिल चेंज हो गया है. जो ठंड आपकी अक्टूबर नवंबर में शुरू हो जाती थी वो अब स्टार्ट होती है दिसंबर जनवरी में. बट जो आपकी 2 महीने 3 महीने रहती थी अब रहती है 20 days 30 days. So that is a visible impact of a climate change. Another thing, you make a development in Gurgaon. On one side you make high-rise building, another side you make dump sites. And there are people, when you visit Himalayas or Manali and these areas, you will find they have a trust on God that these kind of mountains are there, and below that they have made houses. One people, he took us on a local car through a shortest route, and it was like it. And under the shadow of the mountain, they had a house. But being from this part of the country, I was worried कि जब मनाली में वो पहाड़ गिरा एक जो फेसबुक पे बहुत वायरल वीडियो हुआ था और पानी कितना उछला और कितने व्हीकल्स उसमें चले गए, तो इट इज नॉट श्योर कि वो भी टिकेगा अगले 100 years, अगले 10 years, 50 years. But they are cut from the isolated from the rest of the world. They do not know what kind of activity we are doing in this region, just maybe 700 kilometer apart, maybe 1000 kilometer apart, and that is going to impact us within the next 5 years. So such kind of one person who was son of one of my polytechnic teacher, who she was HOD in government polytechnic Ambala, if I am not wrong. So she said in the evening, Amar, your talks are above my head. I can't correlate, but my son would do. His son came to me. He met me different times in different phases. Then we designed a concept. I said to him, if you work with entrepreneurs in the region of Himachal, can you develop a alarm system? Working with NDRF, National Disaster Response Force, and working with e-governance initiatives, Government of India. Can you design a system that they can, whenever it is such kind of problem is going to occur, it can be communicated on the master level? Once you share, he's working from the last, I feel so, beyond 1 year, 3 years have passed. He was working in that area, and some change or some work he's doing over there. Just you have to put the seed. It will flower automatically in some form or the other. That's it. So if you do that kind of thing only, that will also save many lives if such kind of thing happens. Okay. In a nutshell, we can say that to deal with the environmental problems, we are called upon to innovatively use IT and make IT systems and work practices greener, according to Muruksen, given by him in 2010. In theory, in research, you have two kind of people. One are academicians in Indian system, if I consider those who work on the research, and another are practitioners, who are actually working in that area, having enterprises, and that is it. So this point is highlighted by Muruksen in 2010, who is a practitioner in the domain of IT. Okay, now we come to the several important terms along with their brief description, definitions emerging from the literature that readers must know, be familiar with to comprehensively grasp the different aspects of green IT. That are, first one is green. It refers to any products or properties, physical attributes in context of eco-friendliness and or energy efficiency or carbon footprint. Okay, now we come to the, here the point to be elaborated is the carbon footprint. Okay, so can you make out what is carbon footprint? Okay, GP Janla, can you make out what carbon footprint is? What is carbon footprint?
Hello. So it is a carbon consumption for production of energy.
Can you repeat that?
Is carbon consumption or production of energy.
Okay, we are not listening. Okay, can you place a mic somewhat at a space? Now try, sir. Sure. What carbon footprint is? Now give me your response, sir.
Is carbon consumption or production of energy.
Okay, perfect. Sir has given that consumption of carbon consumption for production of products. Indirectly, in a nutshell, he is right. So footprint basically is पाँव के निशान. Carbon footprint, your हमारे पाँव के निशान in terms of carbon. How much pollution I am doing to the environment. So what in US people have? Your map. When you are, what US and Canada, some organization have done, what they have done, per minute, per 20 seconds or per minute, less than a minute, it is being counter is there on their website that shows how much CO2 they are adding to the environment. That they have gone to that level of e-governance, I would say. Monitoring. Another thing, certain organizations are deciding or have such kind of things. They have allocated the carbon points to their departments. Means 100 points, they say each department in Chandigarh can consume 10 points to each department, 100 for the whole institution, 10 points to EDIC, 10 points to computer science, 10 points to electronics. Maybe based on certain कि जहाँ पे printing का काम है, stationery admin काम है, वहाँ पे आपने additional weightage दे दिया. It has to be logical one. Okay, 10% दिया. अब 10% को वो देखते हैं कि per employee footprint क्या है, and it has been linked to your performance appraisal. कि किसने पेपर ज्यादा यूज किया, किसने बिजली ज्यादा खाई, वैसे. एंड उससे आपको पनिशमेंट नहीं देंगे, मे बी आपको इंसेंटिव्स नहीं देंगे. देयर टू वेज. वन इज जिसने सबसे कम एनर्जी रिसोर्सेज को कंज्यूम करके वर्क अकम्प्लिश किया, उसको बेस्ट एम्प्लॉय अवार्ड दे दो, मेडल. इट विल प्रमोट. Another thing can be, one thing can be this, another thing can be, you give increments to all, stop his increments. Don't demote, but do not promote. Just we have to systemize the things. Okay. Greening, it refers to the reducing energy consumption, maximizing energy usage efficiency, and whenever possible, opting for renewable energy sources. The use of components and consumables that are eco-friendly plays a important role. तो यहाँ पे हम एंड में बात करेंगे एक जगह पॉइंट पे. सस्टेनेबल, इट रेफर्स टू बिजनेस प्रोसेसेस, वैल्यूज, ethics and social justice in addition to green physical attributes of a product or property as in a building. So it is not about only product or property, it is about your personal values system, it is about your ethics, it is about your social justice. So it has to start with us only. Let's say morning I came with the words that only based on my nature, sometimes I am into different phases, only thinking will create worries. Only thinking will create worries. Only thinking without action will create worries. Only action without thinking will create mistakes. A balance of the both will create good shakes. That's it. So you have to balance your thinking and the action. Both, they have to be balanced. Maybe sometimes we think more, 100%, but 20% we have to implement also. Sometimes we implement 100%, but we do not think. why I am doing this activity. So it has to be balanced one. Okay, sustainability, a definition that may be considered apt in is given by the World Commission on Environment and Development. That is defining sustainability as development that meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Okay, and now I am skipping some of the general things. Okay, sustainable design. It refers to the system design where the objective is to create places. We have discussed your institutions, your common places, is to create places, products and services. Services, depositing of your fee. For example, if I have to deposit my PhD fee, earlier I used to go to Thapa University on my vehicle, car, scooter, bike or bus, then come back. Now you can do online. Online again, earlier you have to go to, we used to go to bank. Now, not bank, sitting at your home. See, services. You have to design, the objective is to create places, products, services in a way that reduces the use of non-renewable sources and minimizes the environmental impact and relates people with the natural environment. Okay, triple bottom line, we have discussed people, planet, profit. Then energy efficiency. Energy efficiency, we have already discussed. Corporate social responsibility. Okay, this is to be elaborated a bit. As per Campbell, CSR are the action taken by a firm that are intended to further social welfare beyond the direct economic, technical and legal interests of the firm. So what happens? What Government of India has done, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Director General was Bhaskar Chatterjee. What he proposed, he took an initiative way back in, I feel so, before 2010 or in 2010. What they done, they have made it mandatory that every company has to spend 2% of its profits in CSR activities. Act also, they have made it to Companies Act, and we questioned it. There was a event in the Indian School of Business, and Rakesh Bharti Mittal and Chatterjee sir were together, and we put forth, all the audience put forth a question: why it was 2%? Why not 1%? Why not 7%? He said earlier we had a 3 categories, different categories, but to monitor when which company enters into which category based on its turnover, it is very tough. So we averaged it out and we kept it to be 2%. And can you make out? He shared. Can you make out what is the company that is having? It must be in 2013 or 14, if I am not wrong. What is the company having highest turnover in India? ONGC. It was ONGC. Now I do not know what is its rank. And 2% of profits of ONGC was 600 crores. 2% of profits of ONGC was 600 crores, and 600 crores are to be pumped back into the system. And CSR says it should not be an activity that is aligned to your business, the same as whatever you are producing. He says, Chairman Rural Electrification India may say, I am doing a CSR because I am making the electricity reach to each and every corner of the village, last house of the village. But he says that is you are being paid for. That is your job. CSR is something different from. अब इसमें हल्का सा हमें बच्चों को सिखाना है कैसे. जब एक CSR प्रोजेक्ट के लिए आपने अप्लाई करना है, तो CSR प्रोजेक्ट की जो आउटपुट बी प्लान कैसा होगा, बिजनेस प्लान कैसा होगा. तो जो बिजनेस प्लान आपका नॉर्मल वेंचर में अपने वेंचर कैपिटल से फंड लेने हैं, तो वहां पे आपका बी प्लान होगा जिसमें आप प्रॉफिट रेवेन्यूज दिखाओगे. CSR में आप दिखाओगे इम्पैक्ट, बट कैलकुलेटेड इन टर्म्स टू मनी ओनली. कि मैं ब्लड डोनेशन सिस्टम में ये चीज इंप्लीमेंट करना चाह रहा हूं, इससे जो आपका रूटीन अगर बसेस लगाते, वॉलंटियर्स लगाते, पे करके करवाते लोगों से, तो इतना पैसा लगता. तो I am developing this system. So this system will have an initial cost of this, but a running cost. कुछ चीजें यहाँ पे हम सोशल ICT में हम बात नहीं करेंगे, but anyhow there are things कि how you have to convince and you will get the CSR funding. And then there was another question कि maximum bureaucrats and politicians take home in their NGOs and being run in their family names. So he said, if you are corrupt, we can't do anything. But he says we are trying. what they have also made it mandatory. Each company has to publish in its annual report or something from which organization you have got the work done, and the work is to be monitored by an independent committee. There should be an independent head. That's it. So it means he says we are bringing it to the domain of society, because if one NGO is getting, another is not getting, but another NGO knows that NGO is fraud, so they will use a RTI activism is there. But still it says if everyone is corrupt from top to bottom, then nobody can solve that query. But he says we are designing interventions. So what I say, systems. Again, it comes to systems, how you design the system. Eco goals, as identified by Dillek and Hawkins, there are three main goals of sustainability: eco-efficiency, eco-equity, and eco-effectiveness. Eco-efficiency is the delivery of competitively priced goods and services that satisfy human needs and bring quality of life while progressively reducing ecological impacts and resource intensity throughout the life cycle to a level at least in line with the Earth's capacity, as given by D. Simon et al. In 1997, as cited by Meron et al. In 2011 and Watson in 2008 on page number 25. Okay, equity. Equity, it refers to the equity between people and generations in particular, and in particular the equal rights of all people to environmental resources. I can't say the air belongs to me only, this trees belongs to me only. It is for the society in general. Then eco-effectiveness, working on the right things, on the right products and services and systems, and instead of making the wrong things less bad. Normally what happens, मैं प्रॉफिट मोटिव देखता हूँ, पहले बना दिया, अब देखता हूँ उसका कोई नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट आ रहा, उसको कवर करने के लिए क्रॉस ब्रांडिंग शुरू कर देता हूँ. दैट इज अ रॉन्ग थिंग. बट हमें उसी में देखना है, अगर उसका नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट है उसमें मैं कोई बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी खोल सकता हूँ, उसी में एक एंटर कर दो. Or outsourcing can be another aspect. Environment. The environment can be seen as an important part of sustainability. So here are stakeholders. The three most important stakeholders in a typical energy supply demand system in context of green IT comprises of suppliers, consumers, and the governments. Eco-effectiveness, we have talked about. Okay, greenwashing. Okay, one term is greenwashing. It is greenwashing is a term derived from whitewashing. The term whitewashing is defined as a coordinated attempt to hide unpleasant facts, especially in a political context. That is, in literature, it is termed as whitewashing. And greenwashing, it defines the phenomena of socially and environmentally destructive corporations attempting to preserve and expand their markets by posing as friends of the environment and leaders in the struggle to eradicate poverty. But actually, they are doing a wrong thing. We will say to them as greenwashing. Green IT refers to the environmental conscious, and now we come to a definition of green IT. Green IT refers to the environmental conscious and cost-effective use of power and production in technology by centering around saving energy through hardware, software, and services, and even our habits. So, in a nutshell, now we arrive at a definition. It has to be hardware, software, services, and even habits. Okay. According to Mola, sustainability term is not new. People have been working since long in this area. But Alan Mola is a professor in Australia, and he has coined the term green information technology in 2007 or 8. And the combination of as per the exploratory study in context of green IT adoption by Mola, the combination of the IT infrastructure, eco-sustainability, and green supply chain perspective yields the following definition of green IT. So green IT is an organization's ability to systematically apply environmental sustainability criteria such as pollution prevention, product stewardship, use of clean technologies to the design. Now he has given another dimension: design, production, sourcing, and disposal of the IT technical infrastructure, as well as within the human and managerial components of the IT infrastructure. So what we were talking of, e-waste was a part of disposal. What we were talking of, renewable energy, is a part of your design. Production and sourcing, actual production of the product. So there are different dimensions to it. So we come to another dimension. We come to the perspectives in a routine activities. So first one is green IT sourcing perspective. From a sourcing perspective, green IT implies the practices of environmentally preferable IT purchasing. हम इस पे बात करेंगे one by one. From operations perspective, green IT implies improving energy efficiency in powering and cooling corporate IT assets and reducing IT-induced greenhouse gas emissions. From green IT services perspective, it refers to the role of IT in supporting a business overall sustainability initiatives. Adopting a green IT from a services perspective therefore includes adoption of analytical tools for green supply chain management, environmental management and carbon footprint analysis. तो जो हम बात की है सारी वो अब contextualize हो रही है कि carbon footprint analysis आप करोगे अपने organization में या the consultancy assignment, it means you are contributing to green IT services. Okay, end of IT life cycle. Green IT end of IT life management, it refers to practices in reusing, recycling and disposing IT hardware and consumables in environmentally responsible manner from a end of IT life management perspective. Green IT refers to this. Okay, now we come to the summary of practices constituting green IT sourcing perspective. First one is green supplier selection. Just we read it out, then we will elaborate the one which can be done in a day-to-day scenario. So one is green supplier selection, then more energy efficient environmental friendly equipment selection, consideration to recycling and upgradation, environmental consideration in IT procurement, preference to use of green energy, preference to vendors with leasing or take-back arrangement. Laptops is the alternative to desktops. Therefore, give weightage to green labeling certification obtained by the vendors before making IT purchases. तो पहले सबसे बात करते हैं green supplier selection. So when we purchase a laptop or desktop, do we ask or do we see whether that organization has some environmental certification with it? The dealer has? We do not. So we can do that, but that will be at an advanced level, not at a routine level. But or supplier or vendor can use it as a branding tool. Other way, if I am involved into a business, I should use it as a branding base. Okay, then more energy efficient environmental friendly equipment selection. तो consideration, okay, यहाँ पे आपका रहता है कि जब आपने components खरीदने हैं तो मेरे को पता है कि अगर इस रूम में एसी मेरा चलना है 1 घंटा इन अ डे तो मैं लेस स्टार रेटिंग वाला पीसी भी ले सकता हूँ. बट जहां पे मेरे को पता है कि यहाँ पे एसी चलना है 10 hours इन अ डे और ऑन एवरेज 6 hours इन अ डे इन समर्स एंड फॉर 4 months, it means I have to initially I may have to spend more. I have to go for a 5-star rated. Means according to your use, you have to choose the equipments, and you have to make the policy for using those rooms or using those equipments or labs or facilities according to that only. That's it. Consideration to recycling and upgradation. It happens कि आपका पुरानी मेरे पास स्क्रीन है, पुराना डेस्कटॉप है, अब नई विंडोज नया सब कुछ आ गया और फटाफट मैं लैपटॉप को डेस्कटॉप को रिप्लेस कर दूं. What happens? It is a wrong thing, because for a teacher, if you have to do a basic clerical work, you need, I feel so, 80 GB to 100 GB is sufficient. We are wasting maximum resources of our laptop because, sorry to say, for this presentation also we are using this laptop. I consider it as a waste of resource because I have to write a paper on it, because UGC say you have to have for promotions you have to have a research papers also. Otherwise I have given you a demo. कि डेमो आपको दे भी देंगे शायद एक सेशन में किसी और से, बट उसको इंटीग्रेट करके मैंने एक सोल्यूशन डिजाइन किया है बेस्ड ऑन द ऑब्जर्वेशन ओनली. तो उसमें क्या है कि आपका छोटा सा एक पॉकेट जितना कंप्यूटर आता है डीसी पावर, रास्पबेरी पाई, तो वो 3400 का है, 3400 से 4000 का. तो आपको यहाँ पे वो रखना है, ठीक. उसमें आपने मेमोरी कार्ड और पेन ड्राइव भी लगाना है, इंटरनेट भी लगता है, सब कुछ लगता है और माउस भी लगता है, और उससे प्रेजेंटेशन बनाना है based on DC power only. Why we have to use this laptop? Because how it is wasting energy. First, when you have connected a charger over here, it is charging. Then when it is being used, it is consuming. Charging, discharging, charging, discharging. Battery life, number of cycles, times it is charge and discharge. So after 2 years, अगर आपका बैटरी रूटीन में जो काम के लिए इसको यूज करते हैं, हाई एंड, आई कंसिडर लैपटॉप की ये तो हाई एंड पे यूज होना चाहिए, हाई एंड में सॉफ्टवेयर के लिए तो राइट है कि आप बैटरी आपने लगातार यूज किया 1 साल 2 साल में खराब होगी। बट इफ यू आर डूइंग इट कि आप मैं जैसे करता हूँ रूटीन में, स्टिल आई हैव टू अपग्रेड माई सेल्फ ऑल्सो बट आई एम इन प्रोसेस। तो लैपटॉप में आप वर्ड का कवर लेटर बना रहे हो, अकाउंट्स का, इज नॉट द राइट यूज ऑफ अ लैपटॉप। It should be on desktop, and especially if it is on DC powered, that equipment, what I am saying. So and normally we need 100 GB and we are using hard disk of 500 GB, 1 terabyte in laptops today. If you have additional requirement, we can have a additional portable one, but we do not pay heed to it. Another thing is that many times how do they play? How is an opportunity, entrepreneurial opportunity in environment in IT? Once I have to my computer was hanging up, old computer that I purchased. I discussed with one of my friends, तो वो कहता है रैम चेंज कर दो, तो मैंने कहा 2 GB और डाल दो, तो मैंने कहा किसकी डालनी है? He says कि आप Xeon की लोगे तो आपको वो मिलेगी 2600-2700 की, मार्केट में मैं 2300 की दे दूंगा। मैं दिल्ली मेरा विजिट हो रहा है, तो कहते हैं नेहरू प्लेस चले जाओ, आपको वो मिल जाएगी अराउंड 1700-1800 की। I visited over there, Delhi. I searched for Xeon RAM. तो they say Xeon तो नहीं मिलेगी, Hynix है। I said to them how much cost it is. They say 1300. तो मैं कहा नहीं, मेरे को Xeon की चाहिए, Xeon की चाहिए। आगे मूव हुआ, I searched next shops. I got Xeon. He says we will give it to you for 1800. 17 or 1800 was 1800. They gave 1800 Xeon. One mouse free with it. Packed. I went back home happily because I saved. My friend was saying 2300, you save 500 more. When I was going to install into my computer, what I found, the IC chips on that board chip was integrated circuit was Hynix only. What Xeon was doing? Taking it from Hynix, giving a one mouse and certain warranty. Then branding, there is opportunity. But how the people over there in Jalandhar are doing it, sorry to say, I will not name it, the peripheral. How do one person compete with another person? कि आप जाते हो, वो कहता है आपको जब मर्जी वापस दे दो। You can make out स्टिकर्स कहीं और छपते होंगे, 1300 रुपए का वो आता होगा, आपसे वो 2400 पहले ले लेता था, 2 के पैसे आपसे पहले ही ले लिए, आप उसके बाद जितने वापस करो आपको नहीं आ जाएगा। बट दीज आर you do when you do analysis, you will find these kind of things. But what the point I wish to highlight over here is not marketing, but here the point is that we have the option of upgrading our PCs, computers, and it can be done by your team also. It can be done by your team also for your institution, instead of replacing all the computers and desktops. Okay, then preference to your use of green energy, that's it. We have discussed of renewable energy plants. Preference to the vendors with leasing or take back arrangement. Now, only when we purchase computers, laptops for our institution, do we tie up with them after 3 years? Earlier, we used to say every 3 years technology becomes obsolete. Now we say every year technology becomes obsolete. So what happens? तो आप ऐसा करते हो कि मेरे को तो ई-वेस्ट को मैनेज करना आता नहीं, बट कंपनी हैज अ लायबिलिटी, गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशन, किसको करना है? तो क्या मैं उनसे बात करता हूँ? डू वी हैव कि आप नया दोगे तो पुराना लोगे, additional money we will pay, because in a government system, many colleges and institutions, I will not name, I find when I go over there, corridors में वो चीजें dumped items पड़ी रहती है, because stringent norms है, हमें पता ही नहीं उसको mitigate कैसे करना है. It means mitigate करना एक institution को नहीं पता. It means there is a entrepreneurial opportunity. I discussed it with one of my friend that who was doing an NGO, running an NGO in Patiala. He registered e-waste management collection center, taking approval from Punjab Pollution Control Board. They did it wonderfully. One person gave us 2 acres of ziming. Another person, he designed what kind of bins we have to collect the e-waste. One person designed the shop. But what happened? 3 people were there. One, he was doing a PhD in biotechnology, biodiesel. Another person was his person who was working with the best price. what we used to do, कुछ दिन में उनकी सेल्स ₹1 पे हो जाती है कुछ चीजें, आपको पता होगा शायद, जिनके फ्रेंड्स होंगे वो उनको बता देंगे फोन करके कि आज ₹1 में आपको डिक्शनरी मिलेगा जब यू विल गेट अ बकेट. So what we used to do, he used to share with us and we used to buy it and we used to organize the competition for students and give those items as a prizes. So how you used to manage? So entrepreneurial opportunity is everywhere in every aspect. You just have to explore. But what happens? उन्होंने जॉब से रिजाइन किया, they become into a team. But what happened over there? जब उन्होंने देखा ई-वेस्ट कलेक्शन में तो प्रॉफिट ही बहुत है, अगर जो माल आया उसको दोबारा बेच दे, तो उनके आपस में कन्फ्लिक्ट शुरू हो गए. Within 1 year, that team broke. So, apart from having a good idea or good initiative, you have to have a strong team, and it may evolve over 6 months, it may evolve over a year, or it may evolve over several years. But when students are with us in our institutions for 4 years, there are good number of chances that they will form a good team. We have to encash upon both the opportunity for entrepreneurship in context of environment. Okay, then refers give weight to green labeling certification obtained by vendors before making IT purchase. It is done. Okay, summary of practices constituting green IT operations perspective. It is server virtualization and consolidation. You know it. Instead of having each separate server on each PC, we make one server, DHCP. You must be knowing it. Dynamic host control protocol, provisioning according to the number of users of the internet access, equipment and light turning off policy for not in use equipment. ये कॉमन है कि लैब से बाहर जाऊं तो इकट्ठा बंद हो जाए, सारे पीसीस सॉफ्टवेयर से शट डाउन हो जाए. अपनी हैबिट हो. I have seen professors who are working in the area of energy management, when they go out, they do not turn off the lights. That's it. When I do, so they say, why do you worry? Others are not doing it. But still, if I preach it over here, sitting in this room, so I have to follow it also. That's it. Okay. Then print optimization and avoidance. In this case, National Institute of Science and Communication and Information Resources, what I found, what they have done, they have networked the printer at a centralized place. No ego clashes. कि मैं इंडिविजुअल एम्प्लॉई हूँ, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हूँ, गवर्नमेंट पोजीशन पे हूँ, मेरे को अलग से प्रिंटर होना चाहिए. If it is a common sitting, you can have separate cabins. As per AICTE guidelines or UGC, you have a common printer where it is to be shared. Shared can be there. उसमें दो चीजें हैं. Win-win. One, आपको वो स्नूपिंग नहीं करनी. आपने उस बंदे को ऐसा नहीं कहना कि तू अपनी पर्सनल टिकट क्यों निकाल रहा है. थोड़ा बहुत पर्सन काम कर रहा है, let him do. But at the same time, वो ऑटोमेटिकली शर्म के अंदर है कि अगर मैं पीएचडी का पूरा अपना थीसिस निकालने पड़ूंगा, मैं सोचूंगा यार दूसरे लोग क्या कहेंगे, ये पीएचडी का निकाल रहा है. That is a simple system. ऐसे. बट एट द सेम टाइम वो करके अगर एचओडी सर या हेड सर जो उसके इंचार्ज है वो कहते रहे यार कितने पेज यूज किए, मैं तो तेरे को 5 पेज भी नहीं दूंगा, गिन के दूंगा, ऐसे. दैट क्रिएट्स अ टसल इन द रिलेशनशिप. So there are many other things to be discussed based on the experiences I had, but time is short, so I have to little bit go fast. Okay, then right sizing core IT and support systems, that is there. Over provisioning ना हो, under provisioning ना हो. आपकी स्टूडेंट स्ट्रेंथ इंटरनेट 500 लोगों ने एट अ टाइम यूज करना है, बट आपने 2000 लोगों का प्रोविजन कर दिया. बट यूज करना है 1000 ने, बट आपकी प्रोविजनिंग 300 की है. तो यू हैव टू सी अ मिक्स ऑफ इट. कहाँ पे मेरी वो वाइड नेटवर्किंग होनी है, कहाँ पे वायरलेस होनी है, कहाँ पे ऑप्टिकल फाइबर होनी है. You have to create a mix of all. Okay, then storage optimization that I have shared. There was a very good institution where I worked, Mahatma Gandhi State Institute of Public Administration, Punjab. This is my 7th job and first stable job in my life. So I have learned a lot from different organizations. So based on the observation, what they used to, one best practices of them was what they used to do. For example, if I am a researcher and training associate, I am doing certain work on my desktop computer. I will not have a hard disk of 80 GB over there. I will be having a hard disk of only 10 GB or 20 GB. What happens? You are requested to take your backup in a month's time at the end of the month. At the end of the month, one AMC person will come and he will delete all the data in all the systems of the issue. For example, 10 GB. His duty is on 30th or last day of working day of the month, he has to go and delete all the data on the systems. If something is to be stored, it is to be stored on the server centrally, or you can take in your pen drive or a hard disk. So there was one good policy I found in context of storage optimization. That's it. Optimal temperature maintenance. That is there. You have to be if you maintain temperature considering your natural environment, so you can save on the energy required to run a AC to keep your server down. It can be renewable energy based also, depending upon. Okay, then design innovations incorporated for efficiency optimization. It covered more efficient power supplies and hardware. Data deduplication. Certain we have a habit of keeping data on several hard disks or several things. We may have a one backup, two backups, or one backup extra, but not more than that. Then desktop virtualization, it is clear. Liquid water cooling arrangement for IT equipment. Some more technologies like spam filtering, cloud computing, heat pumps, solar energy, combined heat power, cogeneration plants. So cloud computing is well known to all, I am sure. Then summary of practices constituting green IT services perspective, thin client provisioning, that is a server client module, power efficiency monitoring using softwares, or if you can do using a clamp meter. Then power management tools, software features. Then time-based users policy. For example, in Lovely, they have a library. In library, your bags will be deposited. They have a very good library. Now they are going to come up with a 7-8 story library. So what happens? You can deposit. Just you go into a shopping mall, you deposit your baggage into one area. So you can deposit and go inside. And one side you have round tables for talks, and another side you have a PCs if you wish to use internet and e-resources. But what happens? Your students come at a particular time, but those PCs are on for the full day. It means combining at a central level, you can decide how many courses we are running, 5 courses. What are their library of free classes, or maximum chances that they will be free, maybe after lab afternoon. So you can have a policy that 2 to 5 PCs will be on in the library, or 1 hour in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. You can decide, make those policies according to your academic calendar or environment or schedule. Then powering down of idle systems. एक और चीज हमने डिस्कस कर रहा है, पावरिंग डाउन ऑफ आइडल सिस्टम्स. जो सिस्टम्स है, अगर सिस्टम को आपने स्लीप मोड में लगाया है, इट कंज्यूम सेम एनर्जी अगर आपने वैसा छोड़ा है जैसा वो रनिंग में है, तो आपको उसको हाइबरनेट करना है, बंद करना है. IT used to monitor and reduce carbon footprint, retiring old inefficient equipments, go green policies and incentives for the employees. If there can be a Batman, if there can be a Shaktiman, so why can't there can be a green man, है ना? That's it. There can be a green man or woman of the year. That's it. Okay, retiring old inefficient equipments. Okay, यहाँ पे एक और चीज मैं कहना चाह रहा था कि अभी जो हमने सर्विसेज की बात की है, वो सिर्फ हमने अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से बात की है. बट लेट अस कंसीडर द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ बैंकिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, ATMs, वेयर सर्वर्स, कंप्यूटर्स एंड ACs आर वर्किंग 24/7, 365 days. Another opportunity for big opportunity. Okay, and why we have to discuss it with our students? Because our students will become a member of NDRF, will become a clerk in a civil servant, IS officer, will become a politician. So if we discuss these things once in our life with our students, I am sure when they are in their job, maybe they may remember it and they may implement it. And that's why I repeat this session in different programs, because of this, with this motive only. Okay, environmental friendly disposal provisions. That is there, it is there. Responsible recycling, reusing for waste reduction, refurbishment initiatives. जैसे हमने बात किया, रैम को बढ़ाना है, कोई चीज पावर सप्लाई को चेंज करना है, जो रिक्वायर्ड है उसको ठीक करना है. ट्रांसफर डोनेशन ऑफ ओल्ड इक्विपमेंट. अगर आपको कुछ भी ना लगे, कुछ नहीं हो सकता है, बहुत सी अच्छी बात है, एक ऑर्फनेज में जाओ, ठीक है, या ओल्ड एज होम में जाओ, थोड़ा सा उनके साथ 2 घंटे बैठ के आओ हफ्ते एंड पे, और उनको कंप्यूटर सिखा के आओ. इट इज सिंपल थिंग वी कैन डू. ऐसे उनके साथ चाहे चेस खेल के आओ, जो whatever you feel like. अगर आपको लगता है कि उस कंप्यूटर को घर में कोने पे रखना है या नीचे फेंकना है, these are simplest thing we can do. Okay, highlighting green IT potential and linking it to the IT product life cycle. So We propound that green IT has a strong probable remedy in a prognosis of the problem of adverse impact of IT on the environment. Corbett 2010 also seeks supports in favor of suggestions that in green IT has the potential for widespread impacts on the at multiple levels. So as per Hedwig in 2009, green IT denotes all activities and efforts incorporating ecological friendly technologies and processes into the entire life cycle of the information and communication technology, as cited by Myron et al. In 2011. Vidjaja in 2011 also asserts that green IT can be included in each of the 4 phases of the product life cycle. So first is the development phase. In development phase, embraces using green material and seeking energy efficiency consumption to design environmentally friendly systems and computers. कि उनको बनाने में आपका जो एनर्जी लगता है और आपका जो सिस्टम्स लगते हैं उनकी एफिशिएंसीज को अच्छा करना. प्रोडक्शन फेज फोकसेस ऑन द एनर्जी सेविंग टू रियलाइज कॉस्ट सेविंग्स एंड द रिडक्शन ऑफ कार्बन एमिशंस टू लेसन द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ऑन द एनवायरनमेंट. सो यहाँ पे आपका सारा रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी वाला कंसेप्ट आ जाएगा. प्रोड्यूसिंग एट लोअर कॉस्ट एम्स टू लेसन एनर्जी यूज व्हाइल रिड्यूसिंग द CO2 emission tends to use subsidized energy resources such as solar panels or your solar energy plants or windmills. Users, it refers to the organization itself. Users phase में आपकी organization खुद आ जाती है. Employee behavior, उसका behavior, आपके पास क्या equipment है, क्या infrastructure है. To implement a green IT strategy, the management needs to draw up a new process and implement new standards, not only in terms of IT infrastructure, but also in terms of individual users. Disposable phase, it is the most crucial phase as it primarily depends on the government's involvement in the enforcement of the regulations and motivations of the company to invest in products which can have a second life. तो यहाँ पे top commitment की हम बात करते हैं, management top commitment. Then viewing each phase of IT product life cycle from a green lens, this section enlists some of the important technologies, practices, policies, and the potential regulation that may directly or indirectly contribute to greening of the just described phases of IT product life cycle. तो यहाँ पे मैं सिर्फ ये बताना चाहूँगा एक लाइन में IT डेवलपमेंट फेज में कि अगर आपका बच्चा कोई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में स्टडी कर रहा है, कंप्यूटर साइंस में कर रहा है रिसर्च, उसको आप ये जरूर कहें कि आप रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑफ द यूज ऑफ सर्टेन हैजर्डस सब्सटेंसेस इन इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डायरेक्टिव है, इक्विपमेंट डायरेक्टिव्स हैं, ROHS, आप उसको जरूर पढ़ लें. हम बच्चे को कहते हैं रोबोटिक्स में किट बना दो, कोई रोबोट बना दो, ये बना दो, वो बना दो सर्किट, बट हम उसको ये नहीं बताते कि उसके साथ चीजें किनको फॉलो करना है, मीन्स कौन सी चीजों का ध्यान रखना है. मीन्स अगर मेरे को लेड है, कैडमियम है, कोई मैंने यूज करना है तो किस एक्सटेंट तक होना चाहिए. प्रोडक्ट तो मैं बाहर से कॉपी करके जो नॉन पेटेंटेबल डोमेन में है लिटरेचर में, इंडिया में बहुत से सिस्टम बना सकता हूँ, बट ऐसे सिस्टम बनाने कि कल को वो इनएफिशिएंट ना हो, कोई और प्रॉब्लम ना खड़ी करें. देयर इज अ पोटेंशियल that those intellectual property that has been protected in their country, it is a nationalized IP. अगर वो कंट्री ने अपने वहां पे राइट फाइल पर्सन ने फाइल किया हुआ है, इंडिया में नहीं किया, तो यू कैन रिव्यू एंड यूज इट इन इंडिया. You will not get a right for it in India, but nobody can stop you from using it. But at the same time, अच्छा एक और चीज, उसमें जो रिसर्च थीम्स हैं वो भी हमें उसी से पेटेंट लिटरेचर से निकालनी है. Normally we do from the normal Google only. Okay. Then second, when we talk of production phase, one of the alternatives for greening the IT production phase involves the use of green power, such as solar, thermal, solar photovoltaic, wind, thermal, high energy, hydro, renewable heating, and clean coal technologies among others. यहाँ पे as per EPA green power products are of 3 types. तो यहाँ पे वो companies हैं जो कि आपकी renewable electricity में काम कर रही हैं, आप बना रही हैं, आपको supply कर देंगी. 1. सेकंड, आपके वहां आके प्लांट लगा देंगे. जैसे L&T है, L&T ने GPW बेमिना श्रीनगर में एक प्लांट लगाया हुआ था. ऐसे देन ऑन साइट रिन्यूएबल जनरेशन एंड प्रोडक्शन में आपको हेल्प कर सकती हैं. यू कैन गेट द फंड्स फ्रॉम योर गवर्नमेंट्स और फ्रॉम योर मैनेजमेंट इफ दे आर इंटरेस्टेड इन. यूजर स्पेस, यहाँ पे यूजर स्पेस में वो सारा आता है जो हमने सारा सर्विसेज, ऑपरेशंस, सोर्सिंग, एंड ऑफ IT लाइफ साइकिल की बात की. इट कम्स इन यूजर स्पेस ओनली. इट रेफर्स टू सेलेक्टिंग ग्रीन सप्लायर, लैब प्रोसेस अल्टरनेटिव टू डेस्कटॉप, वो सारी चीजें जो हमने बात की है. एंड यहाँ पे रेलिवेंट कोड्स एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स जो बच्चों को कहना है कि वो रेफर कर सकते हैं. कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट ऑन डाटा सेंटर्स, एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी, द ग्रीन ग्रिड कंसोर्शियम, देन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक प्रोडक्ट एनवायरमेंटल असेसमेंट टूल, EP8, a product registry site in United States. Then the practices that may constitute the use may be used for greening the IT disposable phase include reduction of computer resources both in numbers and amounts necessary to accomplish the same task, reusing for waste reductions, and increasing the product life cycle, responsible recycling, and transfer donation of old equipment. Relevant standard or regulation is, if you go India Waste Electrical and Electronics Equipment Directive, it is there, and Waste Management Handling and Rules also there, proposed in 2011, Government of India website. Normally when I sometimes I keep a session on that also, but that is not required at this moment, because if you are interested into going into a e-waste management center, then only it is relevant. So but you can go it on the website, it is there. If you wish, I can, if anybody requires, he will email me, I will mail the PPT also for them. Okay, thank you very much with it.